Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I have a nice rack, I've got the S, and most of the tiles are bingo-y, apart from the V. But if I play VEE, I'll leave a good 4-letter rack leave. Through an L, and there is one, I would have televise, and do have that. Do I have anything through the other floaters? Not seeing anything with the B. How about the O? No. T. No. So televise it is. And that's a great start. And not bad for 7 random tiles. Not seeing a 7 here. Could there be an 8? I have the FUL ending. But the rest of the rack doesn't look promising. What else do I have? I have fire as a component part with LRU. Doesn't look good. I have the IER ending. Not seeing anything there, so let me consider the floaters on the board. Do I have anything with the T? No. How about the B? B and F don't go well together. Nor do F and V. Which leaves the S. Well, I'm not seeing anything. So how to sort the rack out? Well, really, I'm looking to play off F, I, and U. Difficult to play off those tiles altogether. But that's what I'm trying to do. So, well, I have fruit, but the score's very low. Do I have a 6-letter play in column 8? Well, no, I don't. I have IR full, but LT not good, and that doesn't play at the bottom either. What do I have at the bottom? So Fluia is the anagram of IFL, that also doesn't play. Nothing goes to the left of the V, and opponents played down there. Now I have the like ending, but no bingo there. So do I really have nothing ending in E? No. Bolt only takes an S. If I play Fluia or IFL through the I, then I'm retaining 2 I's. So do I have a double-double in row K? Ending ER, maybe? No, not that I can see. So this is quite a tricky rack to sort out. How to do it? Televise, I think, takes an R. Well, I could play 4 lie, but that's keeping I and U. Bluia may not be good, but doesn't play in any event. Wow, this is really tricky. Maybe I have to change what I'm trying to do here. Or maybe just play Flutia. For 20, that's not too bad. Best I've seen, I'm going with this. Pretty horrendous BPP, not good at all, and certainly a long way from a bingo. But I think Flutia was okay. I'd be surprised if there's anything significantly better. But to the matter in hand, what am I going to do here? I do currently have a lead, which is good. So the double word square above the E works for both the B and the P. I could play Pep in that spot, but I would like to split up the duplicate I. That's pretty non-bingo-y. 19 for opponent, doesn't provide anything. So PP is good. I could play that over here for 21. The B goes above the I of PP and the E of Flutia, so that's quite a useful consideration. Can I do any better? I don't think I can. Ben isn't terrible. I'm going with this. Well, again, non-bingo-y, but some balance with a couple of vowels, so I should be able to play through this. I have cyber in column 12. I don't think cybernet is good. I'm not going to even check that. But cyber would certainly sort the rack out. Great, only 20 points for opponent. But probably better than cyber would be Bay. Decent rack leave, 26 points, not giving terribly much away. Anything better? I'm not really considering the bottom of the board. Cat has put the dampers on that. Nothing goes in front of GI. Why don't I play one square to the left? So this is 26. And this is 32. Fantastic. I am going with this. Now, this looks a little closer to a bingo, but do I have one? And even if I do, this is not a bingo-friendly board, so I may not be able to play it. Oh ho, I don't think takes an S. 3 S's and 2 blanks to come, and half the tiles have gone, so tile turnover would increase chances of drawing some of those good tiles. I lead by 30. So, catenate through an A. No A. What floaters are there? There's the E of televise. Not seeing anything with that. What about the V? No. How about the I? No. K? No. And then these 2 letter sets don't look useful. Now, these are all bingo-y tiles, so it's going to be difficult to break the rack up. And although share is good, A, O and EO aren't, so I don't have anything in column C. Coho is good, that doesn't work. Care is good. So I could play Centauri. 18 points. Rack leave isn't great, it's vowel heavy, but they're good vowels. And really, it's a shortage of alternative plays which I'm struggling with. 18 points isn't terrible. But look at this, I'm providing 2 massively useful floaters for opponent. Surely I can do better. Maybe I can't. Do I have anything down onto the U? Not that I can see. 14 minutes on my clock. Nothing goes after by that I've got. Nothing goes in front of if that I have. Wow, putting an E and an N in the open doesn't feel right, because if opponent bingos, very few bingo lanes to come back. Is K then good? Well, that's keeping double T. So what would be the minimum? The C is a bingo-y tile, so I guess just splitting up the duplicates would be something to do as an alternative to playing Centauri. Well, how to do that? I can't see a way of doing that without scoring very little. Well, what about this? Bitter 11 points, keeping a decent 5-letter set. I minded to do this. I really felt uncomfortable about the ease with which opponent could either bingo through E and N or just get a decent score. Opponent is not going to score very well off bitter. So, well, a similar position all bingo-y tiles. I don't have a bingo. Even fewer floaters to consider. But I do now have an I for going in front of the O. Great, look at that, just 12 points. And opponents provided a hotspot, so I think the logic behind Bitter versus Centauri has played out. Does the floating M give me a bingo? Well, it feels like it goes well, but this is just a bingo-y set of 7 tiles, so almost anything is going to look promising. Not seeing anything with the O, but coming back to the M. No, not seeing anything. So what about a play in row H? Well, I have plenty, but what's best? Do I have a 5-letter play? How would that end? A-N, A-T, A-I. Not seeing anything. So, what about actor, keeping E-I-N? Only 4 E's to come. Acne would be an alternative. 5 N's to come, only 1 T. I'm going to take this back and play acne for 26. Great, I draw a blank and the rest of the rack not too bad. Do I have a bingo? Well, very few lanes. Nothing goes in front of O-Y-E, so row C isn't a lane. I'm going to check O-Hose. Not good. Great, so column 14, not a lane. There's the K, not massively useful in first place. I lead by 16 with opponent on turn. Oh, wow, look at this. Opponent has opened up a 999 timer lane. Can I do anything about it? Well, the E prompts the fact that I have dietary on my rack. Not seeing anywhere for that. 11 minutes on my clock. Do I have a bingo through the E, whether or not it's a 9 timer? So it could end L-Y, I-L-Y. Dietarily would be 9 letters. Let me squiz through the alphabet, imagining an extra E on my rack. Not seeing anything so far. This rack plus an E. Wow, that looks close. Still not seeing anything, so this is the LY ending. Wow, again, this looks close. Not seeing anything. Podiatry through an O. Now, how about the S, often a useful tile? Not seeing anything. Tawdrily through an L. No, so no bingo through the E, even though I've got the blank. So let me switch over to the left-hand side of the board. What about the A? I feel that the A is almost more useful than the E with this rack. Not seeing anything. What about the C? Wow. Well, I do still lead. What about doing this for 36 points? And given that I'm retaining the blank, which is worth 25 to 30, this is effectively a 60-point play. So if I have Mr. Bingo, I'm not sacrificing a ton of points. And I'm creating a new bingo lane, which will be useful with this blank, and I'm stopping opponent from playing in column 15. So I think there's a lot going for this, and I'm also mindful of the time. Is there an alternative play with the Y which retains one of these consonants? No, I don't think there is. I'm going with this. Well, that looks great. I was expecting to be swamped with vowels, but in fact I've drawn only consonants. And I absolutely must have a bingo here. Surely. Not seeing anything with the K. Where are the 7-letter lanes? Well, there's column 11. Phew, I didn't consider that last turn, but dietary doesn't slot in there. What are the tiles which go after double E? L, K, N, and that's it. So I don't have a 7. Any other 7-letter lanes? Row J. Okay, so opponent provides a new floater. What about row A? Do I have a bingo ending in D? 8 minutes on my clock. So it could end oid or ed. Not seeing anything. It could end acid with DRT. Not seeing anything there. I do have triacid and triadic on my rack, but they don't play. So what about the A of acne? Wow, this is shocking. I feel there is definitely a bingo. What about the I of televise? This is a case where there could be 10 bingos and I'm missing all of them. So what do I need to keep in mind? A, C, and I. A, C, and I. So this rack plus an A. That feels like there's something there. And a C, less likely. A credit. Oh, thank goodness. I do have a bingo. In column 2, I have a credit. 6 minutes on my clock, 32 tiles to come. I'm minded to take this. I suspect there are other bingos. But this is 78 points, and I'm going with it. And I draw the second blank. Fantastic. The rest of the rack is junk. Are there floating vowels on the board? Yes, there are. There's the E of nav. So I could play wag in that spot. The E of a credit, the I of a credit. I could play wing. And there's the I of televise. So I'm certainly playing through this. Wing is quite nice in either spot. It would be nice to play off one more consonant, but I'm not seeing a way of doing that. Now I do have N's for going after double E. That's more for future reference. Acne takes a D. I don't have that, but the O of muet is available. A credit takes an S, 3 S's to come, but row O not massively useful. Are there any other vowels I've overlooked? ARE, but any play through that is unlikely to hit the double word square. So I'm not seeing anywhere to play off 4 consonants. I'd really need a vowel to be more in the open for that. But wing in either of these 2 spots is going to be the best I can do, and I'm minded to play that fairly quickly given the time. I'm just wondering if wing takes an E. It certainly takes an S and a Y, and it may take an E. Only 2 E's to come. Fantastic. And that's with a mind to opponent's bingo prospects. Opponent taking a while with this move. I lead by 100. A credit hasn't provided anything massive in column 1 because no tile scoring more than 1 point can go to the left of the D on this double letter square. Wow, I'm so grateful for spotting a credit. I would have been very reluctant to give up on finding a bingo with such an ostensibly bingo-friendly rack. So it'll be very interesting to see how many other bingos there were. Now, opponent taking a while on this move, down to 12 minutes on his clock. Slightly more time than I have. One of the major UK Scrabble tournaments was held over the last 3 days. 34 for opponent. 25 game tournament, and I was in first place after 12 rounds and then lost the next 6 games. So that was pretty brutal, but that's the way it goes. Now, opponent's taken out 1 wing spot and scored quite well. I'm going with this spot for 16. Well, through an I would have Waranui, or through an A. U and W, a pretty dreadful combo. Let me check the remaining vowels. 12 out of 26, so fairly balanced. Do I have a bingo in row A? I have the un prefix and the ed ending. The under prefix. Not seeing anything. Anything else other than Waranui? Wow, 50-point Z play for opponent. He is less than a bingo away, and look at the remaining tiles. They're massively bingo-y. Well, rather than bingo, maybe I should be taking out lanes. So, if Winge is good, and I think it is, I could play Hune for 29, mainly going for score. No E's left. Fez has played the last one. This takes out a bingo lane. Opponent's got the S, and the remaining tiles are ridiculously bingo-y. So Hune for 29 may mean that I can survive a bingo. It would be great to play off, let me put this back, 4 minutes on my clock, which is not many. Do I have any way of playing off W, H, and U? That would maximize what's left. I don't think there is a way. Am I right to be taking out this lane? I think so, given that I can't play W, H, and U. And 29 points is a lot. I'm going with this for 29. That looks pretty good. I think I have Nauazult in row A with the blank as an N. Do I have an alternative bingo? Not seeing anything with the K. What about column 13 with a big overlap? Great, opponent has not blocked row A. I don't have Nauazult. Rats, I thought I did. Wow. Okay, so 4 minutes on my clock. I do still lead. I was going to say I have Slumlord, but I'm making the same mistake. I've got 2 Ds. Doldrums doesn't end in a D. Plays beginning EN. Not seeing anything. Well, column 14 is a good bingo lane. Let me just run through the alphabet looking for any old 7. Slightly hampered by the vowels I have. Wow, this looks a good set. 3 minutes on my clock. Siluroid through an O, but there are no floaters apart from the D. So I'm looking for a 7. I think Unlords may be good, but that doesn't fit. Two minutes on my clock. No, I'm not seeing anything. Wow. What to do? 8 tiles left. Hod is good. 1 minute on my clock. What about playing Gull? Leaving a... Wow, I'm keeping this D, which is not good. 12 points. And this stops a 7-letter bingo in column 14. Only 1 minute, I'm going with this. Okay. So, do I have anything through the L or ending in D? I have Sad Iron as a 7. Surely I have something through this L. Ordinals doesn't fit. This rack plus an L. Labroids I don't think is good. Opponent's blocked that. Do I have anything ending in D? 42 points for opponent. I lead by 30. Gosh, still 1 in the bag, so a bingo would be enormously helpful. This rack plus a D, and I've got to do this quickly. Not seeing anything so far. Last minute of time. Disadorn. Could end Oid. "30 minutes, 30 seconds on my clock." Well, if I play and opponent bingos, does opponent have a bingo ending in D? Well, this is the only lane. Okay, so I think opponent needs a bingo to win. I didn't consider the O of Mue for the DO play. I played it to have the Oid ending, but I'm not seeing anything there. Now I could just play Door. I'm just thinking about ways to keep scoring, because I think I can outrun opponent if opponent doesn't bingo, and opponent has to bingo right now. And I don't think he can. So let me refresh my memory as to what I'm doing. I'm playing Rudes, or I'm playing Skidoo. If both are blocked, I'm playing Dorados. And now, opponent's still got L and R on his rack, but he needs to score about 20 points with those, and I don't think he's going to do that. Wow. So 28 points for Saint. That was a valiant effort, but opponent trails by 28. He's going to get 4 on countback, so he needs 24 to draw with just L and R. That's not going to happen. And he may struggle to play out, so I need somewhere to play A and R. I have Raggy. I have Raid. Let me get ready to play Raid to avoid going overtime. I have AR down here next to a credit. Opponent in a... has opponent gone out? I can't see. Well, I certainly have. And the final score, 353 for opponent, 387 for me, a winning margin of 34 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. That was so tense at the end. Now, it was opponent to go first, and he played Bolt, which was fantastic because I have a bingo in Televise. And that lead, I think, was one I kept throughout. So, opponent plays Rock. And I play Flutier, which I spent quite a while on. And I think it looks fine. Opponent plays Cat. And what do I do here? I play PP for 21, keeping Ben. 3 more points, keeping BIIN. Well, I much prefer my rack leave. Double I is pretty grim. Opponent plays Vug. Wow, I didn't play Benty, E11. Running across row E, what do? I play Buy for 32, and that's better, it scores more, and the rack leaves better. Horrible rack for opponent and very difficult to sort out. Plays Oh-Ho for a decent score. I lead by 30. Phew, no missed bingo here. And this was a really tricky rack, and I considered Centauri and went with Bitter for 11 in the end, which is only 5 off the highest play on this list. And yeah, look at Seat. It provides A and T as bingo floaters, and Bitter provides nothing. And Bitter has a decent rack leave. I'm only playing off 2 tiles, so I'm keeping a good 5-letter set versus 2 and 3-letter set, so I prefer my play. Opponent plays Muay. Wow, there was a 5-letter play in row H, but it retains 2 vowels. So I play Acne for 26, keeping AIT. I think that's fine. I think the consonant really helps 2 vowels, and there's only a 5-point difference in score. Opponent plays G. Now, was there a big miss here? There was a 9-timer, Dialytra. Wow, that is the anagram of dietarily. And dietarily is not good, otherwise it would appear. So, Dialytra is the valid play, and it was available as a 9-timer. I missed it. And actually, there's a ton of bingos down here, and I don't think I played any of them. I played Dre. And I made the point that because I was retaining the blank, Dre was effectively a 60-point play, which makes it about 20 points suboptimal to many of the bingos down here. So let's have a look at what I missed. I missed Dialytra. I also missed Dictatory, N2. Oh, wow, through TO, that's a tricky one, but a 100-point bingo. Hereditary, D12. 10-letter play beginning with HER. Well done if you spotted any of these. And now plays in column 2 with the C of Acne, Caryatid, City Ward, Acridity. Gosh. G5. Yeah, and these are Acne plus a D hooks. Idolatry. G2, Acridity and Caryatid. So, well, a ton of bingos. I played Dre. And the reason for that is I didn't see a bingo through that E, and by making effectively a 60-point play, I'm taking away the option of opponent scoring well there. So one possibility would be I play through the C and opponent gets a 9-timer. Now, here we go. Opponent plays Nav, and I play Accredit, And there were a ton of other bingos. Dictators and dictatory, 9-letter plays through TO. And then H2, well, these are equivalent plays to mine in terms of where they're played and what they score. Opponent's rack plays sax, and look at this. I lead by 80 with the blank, so I'm in good shape, but no vowels. So I play wing for 16, C1, na and hup for 28. Possibly worth doing. W does actually go quite well with GNR. Maybe I was overly focused on burning the W. Opponent's rack plays fez. Yeah, and NAH would have stopped that big Z play. So I only lead by 40 now. And I play hewn for 29, and I like that. Opponent very close to a bingo with very bingo-y tiles left. Plays agio, could have got 38 for Zag. Now, this is where I was a little discombobulated because I thought I had Nauzold, and I didn't because I have 2 Ds, and I only have 4 minutes on my clock. So, there were bingos, I-14, Dolars, and Pseudoral, overlapping all, Dolorous, H5, this is where I didn't consider column 5, there was Dolorous, and G4, through EM, Lemuroids, and I-14, well, that's just the same as the first play with the blank in a different place, so quite a few missed bingos there. I played Gull, and I think part of the reason for missing those bingos was the time pressure. Now, opponent's rack, no bingo for him, plays Mandy, and opponent is now breathing down my neck. The remaining tiles, super bingo-y, as are my tiles, but I couldn't see one. And here we go, there was Dishorde and Side Road. Wow. Okay, so there were a couple of bingos. That would have made the endgame a little more relaxing. I didn't see those. I played id because there was one in the bag, so I wanted to retain... Well, I wanted to have the opportunity of bingoing on my last rack, if opponent doesn't. Now, opponent plays Saint. No bingo with my final rack. I played Skidoo for 24, but C3, Suphorn. Wow, tricky one to see, but that was a 39-point play, which was available. And now let's just see what opponent does. He has no out. He plays just the L for hurl. Now I have AR. And I play AR for 13, and that was best. So, what a game. Really jolly close, only 30 points between us, and very bingo-y racks for both of us going into the end game. So, really tense game towards the end there, and quite a few missed bingos, but in the end I managed to hang on for the victory. So many thanks to my opponent for a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.